Okay. All right, y'all. On a recent episode of The Checkup with Dr. David Agus, Nick Cannon made an admission about the time he spends with his 11 children. Nick said, after being a father of multiple kids, it's always the biggest guilt on me is that I don't get enough time to spend with all of my children. He added, 1, because I'm constantly working, and 2, because I'm just spread thin. All right, now, what are your thoughts on this admission, Al? What you think?
I thought it was interesting. Let me tell you what I thought was really interesting about this is that all his kids are actually all under 5, pretty much, except for the ones from Mariah. I didn't expect that this conversation would come out so fast and so soon because the kids are so young. I thought it would have developed as they got older, like school age or whatever. But, a lot of people in the comments said that he should be able to do what he wants to do because he can afford it. But obviously, given this admission, listen, it has absolutely nothing to do with money. You can have all the money in the world, but you simply can't be in all places at all time. And being a father, we know that can lead to bad things, especially during those developmental years. So, I think I'm actually glad to hear it come out of his mouth because it means that he knows that is something that he definitely has to work on and make it better.
That's right. Q, what do you think?
I like this statement, but I hate the implication. And let me explain what I mean. I like the statement because for me, it shows that Nick is rational, reasonable, and logical, that he understands what we've all been saying. You can't spend all your time with these children. That being said, it concerns me because if you know that, then why do you continue to have more children? And it leads me to believe that there is some self-serving or some devious reason that you keep having these children, knowing full well that you can't spend the time necessary with them to give them the types of fulfilling lives that they need. The only thing I can do, Nick, at this point is just suggest that you hold conventions at your house quarterly. And just, you got enough to create a whole damn Essence Festival in your living room. Invite their mothers, invite their grandparents, and just hold conventions at your house and try to make lemonade out of these lemons at this point.
Yeah, it does seem like in all other areas and before all this went down that he was a very rational person that made very few, if any, mistakes. Like we didn't really hear about Nick Cannon making any mistakes. He seemed like he always got it right. He got married, had kids, did it the conventional way. Then he got out of this, got sick. And then it was just like child after child. I wonder if he got caught up in like the buzz. You know how addicting it could be? Like, Nick Cannon was in the news probably every couple of weeks. Like we were having a baby photo shoot, a prenatal photo shoot, a prenatal visit. You know what I mean? We were seeing a lot of this. And I wonder if it got addicted because it seems like he just like was one-upping himself. I don't know if he got off on that or what it was about, but knowing that, like the fact that he realizes he doesn't have enough time, well, you never really had enough time. And imagine small children, how much time they require. And then hearing from the mothers, a lot of these women are first-time mothers. I know my girl, Lanisha Cole, that used to be on The Price is Right. Like you by yourself, you're going to be relying heavily on the father, I would think. And it would have been so much better I guess I shouldn't be judging, but it would have been easier if you had a lot of kids with 1 or 2 people than spreading them out with so many different locations, so many different women. They can't possibly all love each other. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Carter, you brought up a good point because that's what my next question is. So my next question is the women who come next that have babies by him, they are clearly knowing what they are doing, right? They are having a kid that's going to be neglected in essence. So any woman that deals with him and has a baby after him, shame on you because you are doing it knowingly know that he can't be a really good father to your child.
I'm curious to know if these women are allowed per Nick to engage in other relationships with other men.
Mm-hmm.
Usually not.
Because in that regard, those kids could have a full-time father figure. You know what I'm saying? But we know the way men operate, and I could just so see a man being upset. Let's just say, for instance, they're getting $10,000 a pop per kid. You getting the one that got 3. You getting $30,000 a month off of me, and you and your new dude living off of my money. With my kids, I can see him getting upset. But I would be curious to know if the women are allowed to engage in other relationships.
It seems like with those kind of men, like you kind of can't. Anyways, I hope they're all happy. I really do. And I do like Nick Cannon. And, I hope he's able to spread that time out.